So yes, my name is Gena McPherson, and I am a married foster mom of 5, and I help run our homestead and a microgreens business. But before all that, I was the chamber director for our small town of 1,300 in rural Nebraska, and our small town is Ravenna, Nebraska. So let me make sure. Whoop, sorry, no, you're right. That was handled here. Okay, there we go. So this is from the day of the eclipse. So not all of our children are in that photo, but 2 of them are. So it all started in 2014 when my husband's uncle, he called and asked if he could stay at our house on August 21st, 2017. And once we said, of course, but then asked him why, that's when he explained that something big was coming. And after some research, I started to slowly realize how big of a deal this really was and how big of an opportunity this could be for our town. That's when we started educating the town about what a total solar eclipse is and why it was such a big opportunity. We created a website, which my husband was able to create for us. Just a little promo that we did. I'll just show you a little look of it, just so you can see a moment over here. Just create excitement for people. There's Ravenna. Again, I'm not going through the thing. We also, some of our, you will recognize our lovely Kate here. We attempted to what we call the Eclipse Marshmallow Challenge. When challenges were all the rave, trying to come up with something to do on social media that would grab attention, but then also get other people to do it and then have it snowball. That was amongst a lot of the different social media campaigns that we did.
What was it? It was the challenge.
So yeah, and I have a link to the video at the end, but basically if you were to throw the marshmallow, well, first you have to put on the glasses and throw the marshmallow at the person, but you have to say, the eclipse is coming. And then you throw it and say, don't miss it. And then generally people don't catch it in their mouth, but you give it a shot. That's about the only thing we can think of to throw that wouldn't hurt somebody because it's going to put them in the face. Another thing that we did that was try to do a creative thing was to actually paint a mural on the side of a semi-trailer to put at basically what would be the entrance of our town, but you have to go over an overpass to actually get into our town. So our town is a drive-by town. And so this was something that we wanted to do that could easily be moved around, drew attention to the eclipse, but also would be everlasting after the eclipse, a really neat thing for our town to have. Obviously, all the informational brochures that we could do and get out and put in the coffee shops, anywhere that we could think of to get people talking. And then we also, kind of like Patricia's thing, you utilized our existing events as a platform for, getting everybody excited for what was coming. So our normal annual event of Anavar, Ravenna spelled backwards, was something that we tried to make it all about the eclipse, and incorporate a planetarium experience, and different things that were, all themed with the eclipse. And then of course, to get ready for everybody, we had a lot of speakers to get everybody excited. And it wasn't until Kate came that people got extremely excited. She was extremely well at speaking to the town, but then obviously was amazing at guiding us through everything Eclipse. And she also landed our town some of the biggest promotional opportunities that we had ever, imagined. We got an interview on BBC Radio, an article in the LA Times, and a documentary on Vice News. And that had almost 2 million views. That was just phenomenal for our town.
Before the eclipse?
Yes, yep. All right. And then, so additional preparation then basically, getting everybody excited was on the roll then at that point. So then we, with Kate's guidance, transitioned from informing to preparing by meeting and working with like the Department of Roads so we could track people coming into our town. the local county and state police to prepare for traffic jams and accidents, emergency personnel to also prepare for accidents, medical emergencies and people overheating because it was going to be likely be hot that day. The public power company to control the town lights, make sure that they wouldn't automatically turn on during the eclipse to ruin everybody's experience. The school to work with them to include Eclipse educational programming, eye safety instruction, as well as work with them on hosting other surrounding schools on our football field and for viewing, and host a NASA astronaut to come and speak to the community and our kids. And then working with local businesses so they can plan ahead and capitalize on the influx of people. And of course, the mayor and our city to plan viewing locations, parking, and absolutely everything else. And then came the planning of our 5-day festival that we had during the eclipse to offer for obviously all our local people, but then everybody that was visiting during that time. So we had everything from music festivals to a fair, a golf tournament, a fun run, a cruise night, and we were able to do a parade, had community members get so excited that they handed out free ice cream to everybody. Just kind of went above and beyond. And then also did get an astronaut to come and present to the community and inspire the kids, which was amazing as well. And all of the preparation paid off as our town of 1,300 welcomed 30,000 visitors from all over the world. Wow. Not only were we able to safely handle this many people for the big event, but we also received a huge boost in our businesses and economy in general. Lastly, oops. Oh, clicking the wrong one. There we go. Lastly, the hype of the eclipse excited so many people in our town that we had completed more projects than ever seen before in our community in preparation for the event that ended up being huge assets for our town and continue to be to this day. The biggest ones being the development of our small county lake just 1 mile away from our town. This lake had not been developed by any means, and people could go camp there with a tent, but that was basically it. By working with the county commissioners, we were able to develop campsites, get electricity out there, and actually for the eclipse ended up hosting over 100 campers out at our lake, which was amazing for a small town. And that just one weekend of campers out there resulted in $14,000 of income for our small town. And for the chamber itself, selling t-shirts, oh, whoops, yes, sorry, I'm ahead of myself here. So just the impact for our town, like just for the chamber, we have come up with ways, how are we going to make the money and pay for all this and hopefully make some money that are going to help with future projects. Just with our t-shirt sales for our small town, we made $11,000. The glasses, we made $10,000. Viewing location tickets, $6,000. We were able to get $8,000 in sponsorships. And then a beautiful quilt made by one of our locals had sold $2,000 worth of raffle tickets. And those are my children. I highly suggest using any of family members for your marketing materials, if at all possible. It comes in handy. And we encouraged local businesses to create and sell souvenirs, extend their business hours, have specials, create festive atmospheres in their business, and they did just that. We had businesses selling t-shirts, koozies, necklaces, nightlights, and not to mention we kept in constant communication with our grocery stores, restaurants to make sure they are planning ahead for the increasing inventory or influx of people. Lastly, our golf course was actually able to capitalize on being a viewing location that was a wide open, beautiful place, but also sold food and alcohol and souvenirs. So in summary, it's definitely possible for a small town to do big things with little resources and to prepare for a total solar eclipse. And I truly appreciate your time, and I'm excited to answer any questions that I can. I apologize, I did not put contact information on here, but I can update that before it gets shared with everyone. But this last slide does link to a lot of the different things that are our promotional stuff that we have online. If anybody wants to see it, we had John Davis do an endorsement for us. He's the creator of Jimmy Neutron. So it's kind of fun that he did a little, and that would be the Ravenna song. We had a local's husband created a song just for our town, and actually then that became the song that our school would sing like every morning when the kids got to school and everything. So that's kind of our town anthem. But yeah, just a lot of neat things for ideas if you need some. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.